Well, hello everybody, and it's good to talk to you all again with a motorcycle by my side. As you can see, I've completed the purchase of the next bike, and something pretty different this time. This is a 2007 FZ6. Very, 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 very different idea than what I was doing with the Ducati 916, obviously. Sorry, don't run away. I will have more Ducatis in the future. I wanted to go for something different with this bike, and mostly what I wanted to do was experiment with Copart. For past couple of years, where I've been kind of like, making plans, and when I bought the 916 and when I was looking at other bikes, Copart is something that often came up. If you thought of a bike, maybe I can build this one. You search for it, Copart pops up. So that's what I did this time. I did a bid, went through the whole process. No one bid, no one bid, no one bid, no one bid. No one bid.
Sold on approval.
Oh, we got it! Oh, we got it! Why an FZ6? Well, it was affordable, and I kind of got motivated by it. I've got this thing, I think I talked about in the last video where I was kind of looking at my options. One of those bikes was an FZ6, by the way. That bike, the ugly bike with the skateboard thing on the back. FZ6 in a lot of ways to me is kind of the ideal sport bike, except for the fact that it's not as exciting as a lot of other sport bikes, right? In some ways, it's so perfect for somebody who's riding on the street. It's almost boring, right? In a lot of ways, it's like a Toyota Corolla of sport bikes, but that's okay. There's a lot of things that make it just completely street oriented. Right now, it's not sitting up on it is on the ramp, on the lift, but it's not up on paddock stands. It's sitting vertically because it's got a center stand. It has an R6 engine, but the R6 engine is detuned. They say it's detuned for mid-range and improved torque at down low. It's you just basically don't get quite as aggressive of a motorcycle. It's upright handlebars. The handlebars on this one are a little more aggressive than even what they normally come. But they're not clip-ons. They're lower mounted handlebars, nice fly screen, slightly lower foot pegs. So just a really, really good street bike. The plan with this one was to first, honestly, and I didn't film a lot of it, though I filmed the critical parts, was to do an experiment with Copart to see if I can make it work. My goal here is to break even. I would love to make money, but if I can break even, cool. When I bid on this, I had a couple people who, obviously they were doing like probing bids, right? Because they put in like an extra $30, or it was $25 increments. So, I put in the first bid, and then I set the bid capped out at $1,200, and which is all you can bid unless you put in a deposit. And obviously, people were like, let's see if maybe he's only got. Because the opening bid was like $250, and then so it was like, or it was $225. So then someone bid an extra $25, and my thing automatically overbid him. So then it went up to $275, and then a couple days later it would, it would go up by $50 because somebody was putting in little probing bids. I paid out the door $1,800 for this, which is a bit much. It will have a salvage title, or it will have a rebuild title when I'm done. But damage was really minimal. One of these bikes in decent condition, KBB value, is about $2,500. In good value, it's $3,000. But KBB is not perfect. I bet I could sell it for a little bit more. We'll see. But if I could at least break even, I'll be a happy camper. And then I have some thoughts to actually get the proper licensing so I can do bids on more of the exclusive things that Copart doesn't allow you to bid on without proper licensing. And I've actually already done the research, and I think the licensing is pretty accessible. Maybe make a side business out of it, I don't know. But I wanted to do a project with something that would be easier. This bike is in really pretty good shape. So Copart, if you're not aware, is a insurance auction website. So for the most part, it's for vehicles that have been in a wreck. Basically, if an insurance company totals out your vehicle, what happens is you give the insurance company your vehicle and they give you the value of the vehicle, right? Whatever the insurance policy is. But then the insurance company can then resell the vehicle, and the way they do it is through insurance auctions. So I believe they just sell it to Copart, and then Copart takes care of the rest. I don't know exactly how all that works, but yeah. So this motorcycle was totaled out. Usually it's wrecks. My bike was a vandalism loss, so it has paint marks, or it had. I've already removed quite a lot of it because it's actually not so bad, but there's parts like right here on the radiator. There's this radiator guard, and it was almost entirely blue. I can't really see on the video what you're able to see, but there shouldn't be popping up, but I'll put some on the screen so you can get an idea what the damage was like. But obviously someone took some rattle can to it to mess with it. The ignition's been punched out, and so you can't really stick the keys in the ignition. It's kind of funny because probing around as I was driving away from the Copart facility, I realized that there was actually a wire that had been wired in, so we couldn't start it there. I was going to start and roll it into the ramp. We couldn't start it, but it turns out that somebody had hidden this it's just an on-off switch behind the instrument cluster. That wiring is going to have to be fixed. I'm going to need to replace the the ignition pack here, which might involve replacing the triple tree, because the bar lock has been snapped, and obviously someone just snapped it. This year FZ6, actually this version of the FZ6 in the United States did not have immobilizers installed. So there's no real concern with the immobilizer. It's just a question of whether or not I want the bar lock to work or not. And that might require a lot more effort. Easiest thing to do is just going to be to put one of the Chinese, you can get Chinese stuff, kind of like what I did with the 916. Though remarkably, this is even more secure than the garbage that was on the 916. So we got a kind of a cool project. Oh, and there's a dent here. It's probably, unless you know these bikes, you might not even notice, because it's in this spot that just almost looks like it's part of the bike. And I actually didn't see this crack when I bid on it. And then when I bid, I went, oh, I see a crack. There's I was starting to look, and I'm like, why does that fairing look a little off? And it's because this has been caved in. So this is going to need some repairing. There's some plastic that's dislodged that I think is actually easily fixable. The only major damage is the front to this thing. It needs to be cleaned up, but honestly, it's already looking so much better than when I bought it. When I bought it, it was covered in dirt. There's this moon dust from the lot because they got these big heavy loaders that pick up vehicles and dump them, because a lot of the vehicles are they are totaled, right? Underneath, we got really healthy paint. I don't really like the color because it's this kind of it's like a Toyota Corolla red. It's not like racing red, fire engine red. It's this not cheapy. It's just this boring metallic red, but whatever. It's fine. It looks good. So we're gonna get this thing running. We'll ride it for a little while, and then have another project again after this. But this was a really good. I'm hoping this will be a really good way to introduce myself to Copart and all of the stuff that, how that process works. And I didn't know. I actually had never done it, and there were some parts that even on the day of, I didn't quite understand what I was doing. Anyway, I'm gonna be poking around in the garage here, and but I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update and show you guys what's been going on with this thing. The plan in the future is to do something similar with some more Ducatis. So if you're only here for the Ducatis, don't run away. I promise I will have more Ducati content in the future. I just wanted something simple to experiment. I'm not going full Team Yamaha, but I'm happy with this bike. We're kind of excited. I think this will be a fun little thing to ride around and keep myself on the road until I can find the next cool Ducati project. And I'm always looking at the Copart website. So thanks for watching.